going to VAR. They're checking.
Hey, Kai.
Check complete. Let's head over to the bar.
Yes. Of course, it's me again, the host with the most, Andrew, aka Rapping Drew, and we're back again at the bar after an eventful week in football again. How are we doing, guys?
Active.
What's
Active,
good, people?
Let's go.
Yeah, very eventful, man.
So what's happened there, Munya?
Obviously, games left, right, and centre. I think since we last recorded, 4 different competitions.
Hallelujah.
Bam.
Jesus.
Come like one of those pastors, boy.
Jesus. All right, let's start with the England team then. And obviously, the England team got announced this week for their, I think it's World Cup qualifiers, isn't it? They're playing.
World Cup qualifiers.
World Cup qualifiers and a friendly. And I think it's safe to say there was a couple of surprises in terms of inclusions and exclusions.
If I talk.
Let me stay with Char, actually, but let's start with the good news. Obviously, JLingz is back into the England fold after a string of impressive performances for West Ham. He has earned himself a call-up again after 3 years, I think. Has this been well-deserved, you think?
Oh, yeah, man. I think I was even saying it in the chat. I think before when there was like rumours around it, I wouldn't be surprised if JLingz goes to Euros, and I still stand by that. I think a lot of it will depend on obviously injuries and suspensions probably. But I think in terms of his own, obviously I know we'll talk about the games in a bit more detail when we sort of move on. But yeah, he's been like a fresh lease of life really. I think he's got the energy. I think Prez was saying it a few weeks back when they first signed him that they have a lot of ball carriers, but they don't have someone that can sort of take the ball up the pitch. And that's JLingz's bag. So yeah, man, congrats to him. I think it probably tells a lot about his character because he was getting. I remember when there was the season where he didn't score or assist until the last game of the season against Leicester. He was getting ridiculed, like he was a meme basically. So for him to come back and obviously show that he's still got it is testament to him, to be honest.
Yeah, well, his output, isn't it? I saw he's got the most goals and assists apart from Bruno, or joint most with Bruno since he moved. And bear in mind, Bruno's had an extra game compared to Lingard. So like you say, with the goals and assists lacking, all he's done since he's moved is output. And he's been brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 goals, 3 assists.
But in terms of performance as well, like his overall performance has been good as well. I think
it's the energy, man.
Not just the output, yeah.
It's the energy. I think, and the thing is with JLingz, I think a lot of people are going to be like, oh yeah, like we already know he was a baller, but like everyone kind of forgets he scored a lot of important goals for United, like at different stages. He never was the 10 to 15 goal a season guy. No, I think everyone kind of feels that he's limited in that sense, but I always thought there was a spot for him at United. I don't think a starter. I think a squad player. But he's showing us that like he can obviously give as much as he can take.
Falling from that chart, so I must have seen somewhere there is like a potential, whether it's just word on the street, but West Ham might be looking to make this permanent. With the form that Lingard's in now, how would you feel about that?
I mean, on one hand, I look at it and say like he'd be a sick option to still have. So obviously the United fan in me will be like probably like selfish and be like, yeah, let's bring him back. However, I realize I think he's 28.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. His age.
I think he's probably got a decent, especially the way he's shopping himself in the Premier League now. We could probably get a lot, like probably 10 to 15 mil more than what we probably would have got if we sold him originally. So, and I think obviously with the summer coming now with people having issues spending money with COVID. I think that extra couple mil might help. So I wouldn't be against selling them, to be honest.
All right, man. Kenna, let me go to you, man, because another huge surprise inclusion is that of Jude Bellingham. Now, for me, it's interesting this particular one because he's only 17 years old, but at the same time, he's extremely rich in first team football. But the England under-21 team, they have they're starting their Euro campaign already. So it would have made sense for him to join that team. So what do you think his part is going to be in this current England setup, in the big boys?
He's a unique talent for me, man. I think I remember saying in the summer where he's just got a bit of everything, but wasn't sure what his specialty was. And I think still he's 17, he's a kid. In 5 years' time, he'll be probably a completely different player, but he's just so good, man. If you look at him on the ball, he's just graceful. He's 6'3", 6'4". He's quick, he's strong. It's almost quite unique if you look at that England side. I know someone's a big fan of Ruben Loftus-Cheek, but he's what Ruben Loftus-Cheek people expected to be, of where he's just, he's a great player, man. I really like him. I don't know what role he'll play, if any. Realistically, he's just going for experience, but he's way too good for the 20. He's too good for 21.
That's a spot wasted, though, isn't it?
Bro, but
have
you seen the French team? Bro, you're winning a European trophy, man. He should have. I think he should have been.
But who else would go instead of him? Realistically, there's no one who can say he's 24, 25 who deserves to go ahead of him. There isn't.
Do you remember a few months ago when we had the conversation about some of these youngsters going for experience? This is what we're talking about.
But this isn't it. I think this is completely different. He's going because to play. You're saying that. No. I'm not sure.
Not to start, but
he should, man. If he's not going to the European under 21s,
what's the point?
Do something.
As a youngster, what's the point of going to travel with a squad just for experience?
I wouldn't look at it that way. Look at it. Who deserves to go over him? And I don't say
that's my point. That's why I think he's going to play.
But I don't think he's going to play because that's two different things. Because you can go because you're the best player, but doesn't mean you'll play. If that makes sense. Of where there's no one else who's 24, 25 who deserves to be ahead of him. But in the same breath, he doesn't mean he'll play. He'll just go as a great option to come on.
He's maybe benefiting from a few injuries as well.
Point,
anyways, but
I think if he does go, he'll go and not play every game.
But
I think you'll see him.
He's been in the last, I think, 2 squads. He's made it with no injuries. He's been in the squads. So if anything, Lingard's the one.
Was injured, no? That Phillips was injured. That one. No. The second time round, it wasn't.
Jude's going, man, ahead of Calvin Phillips.
It's probably where we're least, I think. So I don't. I see him not playing every game, but I see him coming on and maybe.
I don't think he'll even come on. To be honest, I don't think he'll even come on. But he's a great talent, man. I love him.
Yeah, but I mean, what has possibly surprised us all, if not the most?
Surprise you.
That's what I said. If not most of us, is that Trent Alexander-Arnold has not been included for this round of fixtures.
Get out, Joe.
And his inclusion for the Euros is hanging on a thread. Jake, is this a case of the manager not knowing how to use Trent in his system, or is Southgate somewhat justified by saying Trent hasn't been it this season, so therefore I'm taking the other guys? Where do you stand?
So you're right. Trent has obviously declined. We can't negate that, but he's declined from one of the best right backs, if not the best right back in the world, to just a very good right back. I don't see how either Trippier or Reece James has gone in front of him. You can take one of them, that's fine, but Trent is the better right back. I can't have any argument over that. Like, you can definitely say Trent's regressed, that's absolutely fine, but you can't argue both Reece James and Trippier have been better than him. I won't mention Kyle Walker because Kyle Walker's not in that discussion. He's going to play right centre-back. We're not going to play 4 at the back. Gareth Southgate is going to play that 3 at the back, and he's going to play Kyle Walker there. I'm adamant over that. But so
you think it's more of a system thing then that he didn't select Trent?
I was just going to say, I think it's not a system thing. I think Gareth Southgate is trying to send a message of, look, you need to be a well beater for this.
Keep him on his toes.
Yeah, and I think it's also maybe a rest, because I know he was rested like leading up to it, thinking he'd get the call up. And I've read that apparently like Klopp and all the people at Liverpool are incensed at Southgate, saying, how can you not call him up? Which I completely agree with. But I think Trent just needs to take this and just sort of end the season the way he can, just take a couple of days away mentally. But I mean, I know there's Trent haters out there, but I cannot see Trippier in that side. I really can't over Trent. I really, really can't.
Yeah, go on, Sabs.
No, I just thought, just to echo obviously what Jake said, I feel like Southgate just did this to get Trent a bit hungry because he has been complacent, and I think we all agreed that Trent this season was a shadow of what he was last year. But towards the last 4 or 5 games, I think you mentioned in the chat, Andy, that he's picked it up. And if Jesse Lingard has been based off 4 or 5 games, then why not Trent? So I just feel like it's just a thing to look, keep him on his toes. Let's get the best out of him in the last 10 games. But I think he'll definitely go.
I totally disagree.
Yeah, same.
Totally disagree because
Southgate doesn't fancy him.
Trent at his peak. He
didn't start for
starting
England.
for England.
Yeah, he doesn't fancy him, bro.
I mean, at the start of this year, though, Trent played.
He played because
he didn't play. No, but he didn't play well at the start of this year when they went to. Where was it? They went where Greenwood and Greenwood and Finn got bagged.
I think he played him because he couldn't. Basically, he could not play him. I see it being a form thing. I almost. But I'm saying I'm just saying the going thing. Trent will go.
Yeah, no,
I think of to get him.
I do see him going.
Keep him on his toes. I think.
I do see him
personally.
There's no point of doing. I don't see the positives of doing this if you're not planning for him to go. There's no benefit to anyone because if anything, it gets the hopes of Reece James / Kyle Walker / Trippier up, and you might even lose Trent on your side, if that makes sense. It's either you take him,
I disagree, man,
or you leave him out. You leave him out completely. That's what I would think.
To be honest, I actually disagree myself. To be like the way I look at it with Trent is simple, isn't it? Like, why are we talking about having to try fit in all right systems for a right back? Like, think about some of the best generational talents there's ever been. There's never been a conversation about systems and how to fit like a right. Like, he's a right back, innit? Like, his job is initially to defend, innit? And like, surely even if he's not doing what he's meant to be doing in terms of output, his role as a right back should still be in place. And it's almost like Trippier. I guarantee you, even if Trippier and Reece James weren't assisting, they'd still start for their clubs because they're okay or decent right backs. So I just feel like the Trent thing. If you've watched England over the last sort of 12 to 18 months, I don't think Gareth Southgate fancies him that much as a player. I think he realizes that a lot of what Trent is good at is in a system with Liverpool, where obviously he's got the other players around him. I don't think that's the way Southgate plays.
Oh, do you know what's crazy? Like, out of all of this, what people think he looks better when Henderson's covering him, etc. In a back three, this is where Trent should come into his own. This is the maddest thing.
No
I don't
defensive.
know why.
Yeah, 100%.
But if Southgate had anything about him, he would use it into his favour because Prez, one of our favourite right backs, Hakimi can't defend. But going forward, Hakimi is one of the best forwards in a back three, and that's how I would almost see utilising Trent in a non-Liverpool system of where whoever it is, Kyle Walker or whoever the right side centre back is, would protect / look after Trent and just go, yo, play your own game and do what you need to do. So it's such a weird decision, but in the end, I think I agree. He doesn't deserve to start, but definitely he's good enough to be in the squad, 100%.
I think Southgate, he's going to struggle because let's say we have a bad Euros, right? And Trent also has a bad Euros and Southgate ends up leaving. I think that's going to be a big factor in him because we can all see the talent Trent has. And if he doesn't get the best out of him, sure, you can make your argument about system and whatnot, and I can see that. But you see the newspaper headlines, you see social media. If we come out of a bad Euros and Trent doesn't have a good Euros, that'll be one of the first things that comes up. Why didn't we get the best out of Trent?
Damned if you do and damned if you don't, basically.
United boys, are you guys somewhat surprised that I know Wan Bissaka hasn't like completely switched allegiance officially, but are you surprised that Southgate is not considering him at all? Or is this something that you're thinking, yeah, he's not good enough for England?
Press.
Yeah, it is a weird one, but I think, Southgate has gotten to the point where he kind of has, certainly in the recent sort of international fixtures, he has his kind of pool of players that he picks from. And Wan Bissaka has never been in that sort of fold anyway. I mean, if you look at his performances in the league, he's kind of come on in leaps and bounds in terms of his, let's say, going forward and creating chances. I think he, along with Luke Shaw, they're the two highest out of the defenders in chances created in the Premier League. And, although eye tests will show that he doesn't obviously look the most aesthetically pleasing, You know, he's trying to work on that side of his game. But I think in terms of, you know, getting called up for England, I think he's kind of accepted that ship has sailed, unfortunately, even though, you know, and there's a lot of competition on that right-hand side as well.
Yeah, but
right
to say like, what did he say? He was like, yeah, there's other amazing talents like Cash, and there was another Donny that he mentioned.
Ayling.
And I'm who? Ayling, yeah, Ayling. That's the one that
Ayling's
pissed me
whack
off.
as well.
And I'm thinking, what? But Wan Bissaka, yeah, he plays for the Ops, but Wan Bissaka's he should be top 3.
Real Finnet, like, yeah, no, it's weird, man. I don't think, yeah, it's better.
He just doesn't fancy him, man.
Doesn't fancy him, basically, yeah.
I see. If you're going to play wing backs, I get the Wan Bissaka argument. Although Prez is absolutely right, he has come on leaps and bounds since the turn of the year in terms of attacking. But if you're calling up Kyle Walker to play right centre back, why can't Wan Bissaka do that job?
Yeah.
That's
facts. And he'll do it better, probably.
Yeah, that's
Wait,
true.
do you guys genuinely think that Wan Bissaka will be a better choice at right centre back than Kyle Walker?
Well, I said this a few weeks ago. People rubbish me.
Why not?
Tackling,
I'm sorry, but
tackling wise, you would.
100%. 100%.
Why not?
I get that.
Wan Bissaka's bet. The only thing Kyle Walker has to do.
Let him land.
Yeah, let me hear Mitch.
Mitch, go on.
Yeah, what I was going to say is obviously Wan Bissaka is obviously, you know, very good defensively, and a right centre back probably would be a good option. However, this is Kyle Walker, who's been with Southgate since the last big competition. So again, it all comes to a bit of loyalty as well. That's why Kyle Walker will be selected.
We understand why.
They're talking about ability and capability to play in that position.
Okay. Oh, ability was. Then I would say, yeah, obviously Kyle Walker. I mean, Kyle Walker is, you know,
you're backpedaling,
but AWB is standard.
I get where Mitch is coming from completely, because you go to an international tournament, you want the people that you know are going to perform certain ways. Like, you want to know you've got so many players that are going to
Jake, if you go to the latter stages and Kyle Walker faces a 30 attacker, he's getting spun.
Yeah.
Whereas Wan Bissaka's proven with good attackers.
This is what I mean by there's that pool of players that Southgate has chosen from that he has been with, like these men have said. That's why I think he's kind of just out of favour in that
He'll
respect.
live and die by it.
Yeah, this is what I was gonna say. He's laying his bed now. He has to rest in it because do you know who? Last point, who reminds me of Deschamps. Deschamps is exactly the same as Southgate. Otherwise, he's got his core group. Facts. If you're in it, you're in it. And
but Deschamps proven he's
exactly
he's
proven
right. Yeah.
So this is his second tournament.
That's the point. Let's see what Southgate does.
Yep.
Yeah, man. All right, more power to them. Obviously, I'll be personally supporting England from afar, but I don't know about you guys, but yeah. I know Jake will be up there waving the flag, of course. But I don't know about the rest, but yeah, man. I know Monyo as well, actually. He loves England.
Hey, turn up. Hey, the massive turn up with England won, boy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure they'll be one of the favourites regardless, man. But let's move on. Let's go to the games, man. And let's start with my beloved Liverpool. We booked a routine win against Wolves on Monday. Diogo Jota, first time toe poke, done their dance after some great play from the front three. We were not active in Europe all this weekend, so it was a bit quiet on our side. Other than the Champions League draw, we see us playing against Real Madrid in a few weeks' time. So, Kenna, what do you make of that draw and our path to the final? Our supposed path to the final, if we,
To be honest, I won't complain. I think as soon as the draw came out, I was like, I wasn't scared of anyone for one, actually. I was in the Champions League in the latter stages. You have to play the best. So the easier, the better, but I wouldn't have minded. But you avoid Bayern, you avoid City, and who's the other one? You avoid PSG. You can't complain, man. I'm happy. Beat them. Play Chelsea in the semis. Beat them. Road to Istanbul. Here we go again.
You man are going to get Germany in it. I can just see it.
Hey,
I feel like Madrid are going to move to these boys.
Hey, listen, man, these man been crying for a rematch since that final, so they've got it now in it. So here's your chance to prove.
You and Liverpool
they seem confident. They seem confident though. These Liverpool boys.
Yeah.
The Liverpool boys.
Yeah, they are very confident.
It's all on record now, boy.
No, but there's no fear of where I'm like, okay, you have to play the best. This is the thing. It's not one of the big boys. We're one of the favorites.
And if you talk to actual Real Madrid fans as well, they're shook. So
sorry, actual.
you know, if you talk to actual,
Andy,
Spanish Johnnies,
that Spanish dialogue.
I got that. That VARBAR Spanish correspondent. He's been sending me like,
Aruba, yes, say less.
Old man talking in the shopping center or something. You're saying that,
bro. Hey, I know actual Madrid fans, bro. They're not happy. So, boy.
Yeah, I think Liverpool match up brilliantly from Real Madrid because I think the Madrid team are so old. Like that centre mid, if you've got Kroos and Modric still running the park, they're going to want to dominate possession because they're not going to want to give up any opportunities to Liverpool, and that's going to feed right into them because Liverpool can do what Liverpool are brilliant at, and that's play on the counter.
Like, if they got that Thiago in the midfield, then it's equal, boy.
Yeah, I think to be honest, man. All jokes aside, I think both teams are happy with each other. Drawing each other.
That's what I'm saying. I think we're exaggerating to say Liverpool are licking their lips. Madrid are also licking.
Madrid will be looking at it like Liverpool is
based on current form.
No, Kenna. I think from what I'm sensing is not licking their lips, but they're thinking, okay, Liverpool is not like they're not in the best.
It's not the real Liverpool. Yeah, that's what you'll think.
There's no Van Dijk. There's no, you know, we can do something here.
100%. Benzema's on the form of his life.
High scoring, do you reckon?
Sorry?
Do you reckon it'll be high scoring?
Yeah, man. Defo.
Both teams can't defend at the moment.
I do, to be fair.
BTT has both games.
Yeah,
let me move, man. Press, let me stay with you. Obviously, I mentioned Diogo Jota earlier. What have you made of his spell at LFC so far? Obviously, him being in the team has been pretty synonymous with how well we've been in and out. Is this money well spent? What have you made of him so far?
I think he was a bargain. I think he's turned out to be a bargain, and I think the period that he's been out and the period leading up to his injury, he showed his influence and impact like almost straight away. You know, he was easing to the team. The formation was slightly rejigged to accommodate him, and for good reason. And he's hit. I feel like he's hit another level. In terms of his goal scoring abilities. So yeah, I think great signing for Liverpool, and he could be the key to your late resurgence in the season. So hopefully he can keep fit. Yeah, for real, man. Let me go to Tabs because you know, there's strong rumors going around early in the season as well that Gini Wijnaldum is heading to Barcelona. And as of recent, it's also been said that he's actually signed a pre-contract, so it's been agreed basically on that side. How big of a loss do you think this will be for Liverpool? Basically, how do you rate Gini?
I think he's one of them just unsung heroes that, you know, he does all the work in the background, and I'm sure Kenna will probably disagree. Or you will, but
I won't let him talk, man. No, not me, bro.
But he seems to be, even like my father's a Liverpool fan, and he seems to be one of his favorite players that if he's not playing, he identifies that there's going to be something missing. So I think he will be missed by Liverpool. And I mean, funny enough, yesterday I was just looking at Bissouma, and apparently that could be someone that Liverpool are also eyeing as Wijnaldum's replacement. So yeah, it will be a great loss for Liverpool, but
that'll be pretty like for like, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Stylistically, but I think in terms of like work rate, like Wijnaldum is second to none, man.
Exactly, I was gonna say.
Yeah. So he'll be a good addition to Barcelona as well. I think they need someone like that. Yeah,
for sure. All right, man. Let's go over to West London and Chelsea. Who themselves have made quick work with two-legged monsters Atletico Madrid and then beating Sheffield United by the same score as well to progress to the quarterfinals and the semi-finals in the Champions League and the FA Cup respectively. Jake, on paper, your pathway to the Champions League final seems to be the easiest out of everyone. You got Porto in the quarters who knocked out the Italian champions. And in the semis, you might face Liverpool or Real Madrid, who by their own standards, obviously, are not performing to their optimal best this season. You've got also Tuchel on board. I don't think you have collected an L yet since he's been here. Is making the final in the Champions League the bare minimum you're expecting now? Or
I wouldn't say expect it. I think we need to be confident. It was really surprising because Tuchel did his his pre-match conference for the FA Cup game straight after the Champions League draw, and he said like we're not going to fear anyone. Don't get me wrong, every team's a good teams that left, but we have to think about winning it, which is usually very surprising because you think of managers these days and they're usually going just one game at a time.
Yeah. I hate that, man. I don't know why they do that. Just say I want to win this, bro. I'm gonna win this.
Well, it's a breath of fresh air to hear Tuchel say that. I think we have to be confident. Porto is going to be very much what you expect out of Atletico. They're going to defend in 6-3-1. They're going to really go for the counter-attack, but they're going to be solid. They're going to be structured. I think we're going to dominate the ball. So it's going to be weird. Well, not weird. Sorry, it's going to be interesting to see how we deal with that because really Atletico should have done that. And I think Porto have been a lot more organised and, quite frankly, a lot better. To shut down Juventus, even though the form they're in, like they've still got Ronnie up top, they've still got Chiesa in the form of his life. So, but yeah, I think we have.
You know what it is with Porto, yeah? They have like I think as a team they're shit, but they just have these players that can just turn nothing into something. Yeah, like basically like a bunch of Brunos, basically. That's what they have in their team. So you have to be wary, bro.
And the Pepe Renaissance at the back. Like, I think I saw he set the record for the most clearances in a Champions League game.
That's
ever.
the best game I've ever seen.
Yeah, he was moving mad.
Yeah. He played well for his age as well, man.
Yeah. No, I think even away from it, that was nuts. That performance was crazy. He was winning everything. Props to him, man.
Yeah,
fantastic. Does anyone think that Porto has a chance against Chelsea?
Yeah,
I think it's the same situation as Liverpool, man.
For real?
I think less so.
Yeah, I really do think so. I feel like it's going to be one of them where
you think it's 50-50?
I think Porto always knew they're going to go in as underdogs. So if
you think it's 50-50?
I feel like if there's a team Porto would have wanted, it's probably out of everyone that was left right now, they probably would have
said Chelsea.
Chelsea or Dortmund, I would have said.
But the question is it 50-50? Is it 50-50 in your eyes?
Bro, he says yes, bro.
Bro, that's what I said.
Rebuttal him.
Mad.
Why do you think not?
Porto, they're not that good. We all watched it.
But this is they're not that good. This is tournament football, man. Like this is tournament football. I feel like with Porto, and evidence against Juventus kind of suggests that they're happy for teams to dominate the ball. They're happy for teams to play around them. Just as Jake said, if they keep solid, keep structured, and basically Chelsea will have their chances. Chelsea will create chances. Whether Chelsea puts them away or not is something that we'll wait and see.
But the thing is, so will they. I don't know if you guys remember the group stage game against City. They gave City problems,
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They got players, bro. But
Porto are the sort of team that your club draws, and then probably a couple of days before the game, even though you're confident before, you're thinking, all right.
It's a banana slip. That's why I didn't want to phase them. It's a banana slip. But yeah, man. Chelsea fans have been doing the most though on my timeline. I've been seeing they're mad confident.
Oh, you got Madrid fans, Chelsea fans.
No, I've been seeing that, and to be quite frank, it's rubbish. Like I say, you need to be confident, but we're not going to smash Porto. It's not going to be a destruction job whatsoever. We're not just going to turn up and waltz to a 3-0 win.
Hey, Jake, we can swap, You can have Madrid if you want.
I fancy us against Madrid as well. I genuinely would.
Say nothing, my
Kenna, let me stay with you. Just bouncing off what I said in regards to Chelsea fans being extremely ecstatic about the way they're playing, and obviously the shift in mentality and the performance from all of their players since Tuchel came in. Yet, I have the feeling that the neutral fans are not entirely convinced about this Chelsea team. I just want to know what your opinion is on this Chelsea team, and is this a case of a new manager's bounce? Are you convinced about this Chelsea team, or are you thinking, yeah? Where are you at?
I think it's a bit of both, definitely. But in the same breath, you can tell this Chelsea team are so coached. That's almost the best compliment I could give them, of where either back three or when he switches it to a 4, it seems like every single player knows exactly what they're doing. So, I like this Tuchel side so far. And I think they're comfortable favourites against Porto. Like, the difference, in my opinion, against Juve, Juve's almost creative players. Who are you looking towards? Arthur, Chiesa. Come on, man. I expect honestly like a 2-3 goal deficit between the two.
Yeah, the experience against Atletico will pull them through, man. I think. So Jake, so obviously, away from the Champions League, FA Cup, you've done good business as well. Domestic Cup final is beckoning for you guys. But obviously, you have to get past Man City, who are chasing the quadruple. How big of a task do you think this is going to be?
Going to be a very hard game. Going to be a very difficult game because, I mean, let's face it, City are the best team in the land by quite a long distance. Like, not only are they playing so well up front, like we're used to from a Pep team, but their solidity is just unbelievable. Like, Diaz and Stones are such a fantastic partnership right now. They're so physical. They're both really good on the ball. Stones more so than Diaz. They're both quick. Like, that's the thing with Chelsea, is that our forward line especially has been very much matchup orientated. If we think you're going to sit deep, we're going to play Giroud and just try and get balls in. If we think you're going to go a bit higher, we're going to play Werner or Havertz and try and abuse that space that you're going to give us. And I think with City, you don't really have that because they have both attributes to be able to take you on.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a tough game. But, I mean, I think Chargers said it, it's tournament football. Anything can happen. And this team needs to be confident. Like, it's not walking in thinking we're going to win, but you can't go in thinking you're going to lose. And we need to just try and stop City. You need to go and see if you can go beat them.
Yep.
Have you played them twice already, or just the one time so far this season?
We've played them once. That was when De Bruyne played his false nine and just decided he was going to abuse us for 90 minutes. So
okay.
We've got them in May as well. So it could be very much a case of Champions League semi-finals, FA Cup semi-finals, and have them in the league. So it's going to be a very busy time for hopefully both teams.
Yeah. Chelsea. All right. Let's go over to the boys then, the Arsenal lads. After picking up all 3 points in the North London derby, Arsenal went in the game against Olympiacos in a confident mood. However, they ended up losing 1-0, but are still through on aggregate. They had a catch-up Premier League game this weekend versus West Ham and ended up drawing the game after being 3-0 down after 30 minutes. Tabo.
Yo, my G.
Obviously, Arsenal's lack of consistency this season has been a huge concern for the supporters and everyone else. What do you think? Where do you think this has come to? Is this a player thing or a manager thing? Who's to blame for this?
I mean, I guess I'll start with maybe the Olympiacos game. If we look at the Olympiacos game, obviously unlucky to concede that goal as it came off Gabriel and went into the net. Not much.
Okay.
I'll let you have your moment. But on from that, Aubameyang gets two clear-cut chances that he should stick in the net. Like, I'd put my house on Aubameyang scoring that. And, okay, maybe not the first one, but the second one-on-one, I was celebrating already. But him leading up to the goal, I can see him already going onto his left side. And I'm like, mate, you look at the number you're wearing at Arsenal Football Club. Do you know what that man would have been doing? He would literally opening up his body and slotting that in the back of the net. And that's what I expected from Aubameyang. So in those situations, like we said at the beginning of the season, how can you blame Arteta when he set up the team, told them what to do, and then they just go and do that? Do you know what I mean? And same scenario against West Ham. I don't feel, okay, maybe someone like Munya might come on and blame Arteta for switching Mari and Gabriel after Gabriel had a good game against Kane last week. I don't know, but still putting out a team and 30 minutes, or in fact, not even 30 minutes, 10 minutes into the game, it felt like we were playing Man City and it just was not good enough. It felt like the boys weren't alert. Like, the same way that we were buzzing as fans to say, yo, I need this win. We need this W today to kick on. Let's get it. They didn't look like that.
It's easy to blame Aubameyang and say, oh, he's the one to blame for not.
I didn't blame him, but I
get what you're saying, but I'm saying it's easy to say, oh, he could have finished that chance. But I just think for that game, man for man, one by one, no one turned up. No one wanted to play. This is the Thursday one I'm talking about, to be fair, by the way. It was just so poor, and especially at home. After the away performance we had, I didn't see one player that really wanted to play out there. There was no one that was taking control of the game. It did actually show how much we need Odegaard, and I know I've been one of his main critics, but he's actually quite pivotal in the way we play now, which is he links up the play better than anyone else on the pitch. With that party in midfield, Xhaka doesn't look as good. Aubameyang is not as what's the word? He doesn't go about the pitch as much as you would like from your captain anyway. He doesn't shoot enough. He doesn't score enough. So he's not the same player as he was for the last 2 seasons anyway.
So what we say then? Squad overall.
I wouldn't say squad overall. I'd say there is some players I'd keep. There's young. I would let the kids play, Andy. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially when it comes to the Prem. I would say, look, let the kids play. There's people like Martinelli who has a lot more energy than Aubameyang, and the way Arteta likes to play, it's all about energy from the front. It's all about closing down, pressing. When you're on the ball, dribbling, taking a man on. Aubameyang is not that type of player.
He's not doing it.
He doesn't do that. He's not going to do that. Lacazette is not that sort of striker. He's a neat and tidy striker. Who again, Lacazette is not the same player as he was 2 years back. So
he's doing the job right now, though. He's doing the job right now.
Yeah, we need to get out.
But I feel like
what you mean, get him out.
Lacazette looks more of a threat than Aubameyang this season. If I'm
100%, I'd agree with that.
And even benefiting the team, not even like dangerous, but benefiting the team more.
And even output, he's got the most goals.
It's funny because when we were talking in the previous seasons, Aubameyang, everyone would say, "Oh, what's Lacazette doing?" So now Lacazette's doing something Aubameyang isn't. And why aren't we giving Lacazette the amount of flowers we were giving Aubameyang?
Bro,
because Lacazette's got the most goals and assists for us. He's most goals contribution and most assists. So you can't argue with what he's putting out there. When Aubameyang, it's not like his output isn't as best as it is. If Aubameyang's not scoring, he's not offering you anything else. That's as simple as that.
Yeah, but that's what he's saying. Why are people not giving Lacazette the same?
I feel like because Lacazette is still giving us the 10 goals.
It's expectations, man.
Yeah, Lacazette has been giving us 10 goals, whatever. I think 15 the most. So this is expected of Lacazette.
We go a bit deeper into Lacazette a bit later on. But let me just ask a question for everyone, because obviously in the next round, Arsenal have drawn Slavia Prague, who have knocked out Rangers out of the Europa League. They're a strong and organized team, but obviously that game was marred by a racist incident from a Shakhtar player towards Glenn Kamara. Obviously they are Arsenal's next opponents. What did you guys make of them scenes over there?
They shouldn't be playing.
Fam, You're right. I don't think if UEFA are serious, this is a perfect chance to stamp racism out. Kick them. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan. I'll be happy if we got a bye, but there's more to it. There's more to the game.
Wait, is this actually a conversation though?
Yeah.
Like,
so basically,
taking them out. Sorry.
I think UEFA hasn't started any investigations yet. But
these men aren't gonna do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They'll start the investigation after the season's done, man.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, there's one way we just have to smash them up, and, obviously by beating them and just kick them out.
What makes it worse is that he's an ex-Arsenal player. We've got to do it for him.
Exactly. Yeah, man. All right, Munya, you local, yeah?
Yeah, fam, I'm here.
Oh, you're here. All right, cool. So I remember, obviously, yesterday, Shalom mentioned in the group chat that Lacazette should be sold. As Arsenal should try and cash in on this temporarily informed style that he's putting out right now. He's your club's top scorer currently and seems to be having his best season for Arsenal, goals-wise. So what did you make of Shalom wanting to get rid? Did you understand?
I mean, like I'm saying, I just feel like it's not the right. I get why he would say it's time to cash out, but it's just not now. Now's not the time to do it. I just feel like Lacazette's playing the best football he has in a while. Let's actually not cash him out, but cash in and make him, what's the word I'm looking for here? Appreciated by the club.
I get it might be a Bobby Firmino thing, because that's what we said. And now look, won't even get 10 mil from that guy.
But who are we bringing in? Like, if we're getting him out, who are we bringing in?
Munya. Munya, let me just pose it a little bit different. His contract ends next summer, and you've just gone through this Aubameyang Ozil thing of giving him a contract, then they just drop. What would you do? Give him another contract,
Sell
or
him, Joe.
lose him in the sell him in the summer, or lose him for free at the end of next season?
Nah, I'm tired of us sending people for free. So yeah, if that's the situation, I'm done. Like, we're known as a club that we just lose cash from everyone.
Yeah,
that just goes to show how much you actually value him. Then, like, if you're willing to say, listen, we want some cash for you rather than pushing for a new contract.
Chris, you literally just missed what I said. Like, you just ignored what I said. We are known for letting people go on the free. If you look at our outgoings, a lot of the players, we've had to pay out Mustafi, we had to pay out Ozil. We've let people go out for free.
Yeah, I get that. But my point was, like, what about re-signing him or extending his contract? You didn't say anything about that.
I'll be up for that. I'll be up for him staying. Lacazette, let me tell you now, I don't even have Aubameyang's number shirt at the back of my top. I only have Lacazette because between the two, he's my favourite. Obviously, Aubameyang gets the goals and everything, but he's that guy, man.
He's got that hairline in it. He's got that hairline in it. That's
Lacazette. Lacazette, man.
We also need
Guadeloupe's finest.
We also need.
I just know from young, at least Leon days. Like, don't get. I'll be honest.
Even for the dressing room money,
I wouldn't even look at like Aubameyang like that. Like when he's at Dortmund, obviously we knew about him, but I wasn't excited as I was watching Lacazette. Man, Lacazette has always been my guy. Like when we finally signed him, I actually bought a shirt with his name on there. I
understand something?
People are rubbishing.
Munya and Tabo, you would give Lacazette a new contract.
I didn't say I'll give him a new contract, did I?
Munya did.
Okay. Oh no, I thought Tabo was close signing it.
But... Well, no, you gave me you said to me, Pete, would I rather sell him for free or get him an extension? My point is, if he's going to leave, we need to get some cash.
Can I say something really wild?
If that means us getting an extension, then we give it to him. But if you're telling me now, options are 1, you let him go for free, or 2, we sell him for cash. We need the cash. I never said
so that goes back to my original point then about you don't value him that much then.
I think we do value him, but we need to sell him for the likes of Balogun and Eddie in order to get that sorted. Because currently, someone like Balogun is saying, where's my pathway to playing? And there isn't any pathway if we have Aubameyang. Yeah, exactly. Aubameyang and Lacazette and Eddie. And so you need to cut him. And he is the best. Asset-wise, I think his stock is up right now. Sell him.
From a business point of view.
From a business point, exactly. You need to sell him, get him out of the way. There's no point of sentiment anymore. Yeah. If you're not delivering as much as a top striker would, just face it, he's not doing that.
Thank you.
Sell it.
This is both players as well, though. That's what I'm saying right now.
And obviously this is another,
as well.
Exactly, sentiment. Like we shouldn't have. The way Yang is moving kind of nuts because.
We were about to say we shouldn't have given him a contract extension.
350. Because that 350 is going to come back to
obviously. Listen, I was about to say it, but the way Yang is moving is making me feel some type of way because it's giving us a 50-50 performance. Maybe it's this season. Maybe it's a lot of things. I'll just leave it to that. But we
loves Yang, you know.
but we shouldn't make that mistake we made with Ozil, and currently might be looking like we're making Aubameyang to do with Lacazette, selling whilst he's hot. And get that money, invest in youngsters, or invest in the kitty for Odegaard. Sell him.
That 315 mil, yeah, I see it. All right, let's move on, man. Let's go to Manny, because United did good business in the Europa League as well, beating AC Milan in the San Siro. It was a tightly contested occasion, but they came through in the end with a 1-0 win. Then you had a FA Cup quarter-final game v Leicester, but Leicester eventually ran out comfortable winners. Char.
Yep.
So obviously the loss to Leicester yesterday must have been a hard watch for United fans. Do we attribute tiredness, sluggishness, lack of rotation from the manager, or is this United's normal level and things are starting to unravel? Which is not my words, it's just things I've been seeing. I'm just the host. Don't bite my head off.
I think it's a mixture of both. I think I think Ollie was slightly naive yesterday. I think he kind of he was naive in a sense. I think he should have picked our strongest team from the get-go. Obviously, I think we had Shaw on the bench. McTominay was on the bench.
Can I just say,
Bruno was
are
on the
you saying
bench.
that team couldn't get the job
that's
done?
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think he was naive in the sense that you go into games like Leicester. If that was a Premier League game, Shaw, McTominay, Bruno all play.
But
But then they've got, but then them guys got to play as well, no? So where else are they?
Let God do his thing, man.
But it's not the sense that I don't think the team was good enough. I just think that he was naive in the sense that it's a mentality thing, isn't it? If you're starting a match day, a quarter final of a game, but you hear the best players on the bench, you're automatically thinking he's thinking about. And then when Ole after the game came out and said, like Bruno, for example, he's human. We have to rest him. We have to manage his minutes. So a lot of other people done that. I think that's what we have to ignore. So I think that's on Ollie. That's my issue with Ollie. I still think we had enough quality out there to win the game. However, I think overall, I think I read somewhere in the space of when we played. I think we played 5 or 6 games. And Leicester only played 2. And I think if anyone with eyes could see that we just looked off the pace. I think I think after they started well, we got a goal. But we just never looked like we were the dominant team. I think if you watched a lot of United's games, especially in the last couple of months, we've been quite dominant with and without the ball in a lot of games. But I think this games we just were off it. Fred was having an absolute shocker. I don't know what he was smoking that put the game before, but it was something loud. But yeah, he was just it was just an off day. Am I pissed off about it? Obviously, coming in the season, if we don't win anything, yeah, I'm gonna be. But for now, it's one of those things in there. But yeah, I'm not happy with it. I'm not going to deny it. Like I don't care. It was a chance for silverware. I'll miss a chance.
Prez,
Yeah,
you said it was just a shit game, innit?
yeah, just a shocking performance. Yeah, I understand fatigue may play a part in it, but we did make changes between that game and our last game. So we did have fresh legs on the pitch. I feel like, looking at that front four, there was definitely enough within that to hurt Leicester. But the cohesion just didn't seem there. There just wasn't enough to really, force the issue at any point. And I feel like when I think about Fred's performance, as Charles already said, he was shocking. Like that was, I have a lot to say about Fred as it is, but that really, like, I've never been so frustrated. I've never been so frustrated watching him, man. Like, and not only like his errors leading to the goals and his bad positioning, but just his overall play was just flipping, just bad, man. Like
too many touches,
inability to transition the ball through his passing. When he did get the ball, he was running around like a headless chicken. You would see he was like stepping over people's runs that were getting in the way of people's runs, getting in the way of people's passes. Like Paul said, he must have been on something loud because the performance was just a shambles.
Yeah.
But let's not forget that we had I think we had a very, very, very intense game against Milan, obviously a few days before that. So it's do we deserve corn? Yes, but in terms of we played the 3rd best team in the country as of now. We were just
people are saying they're the second.
Yeah, no. To be fair, there's arguments for it. Like, I think
I get that. But
I keep saying.
Look
at what you started. Look at what you started, Andy.
I get that, but nah, man. Like the performance just didn't warrant. It didn't warrant a result. You know what I mean?
100%.
So
There was no positive to take out that game for me. It was just more of a case of like, you almost got it. Lucky we have the international break. Dust yourself off. Hopefully, get a few of our players a lot more game time in their legs. And we sort of need to see out the next couple of months.
Sorry, one more thing before we move on. Like the substitutions that he made pissed me off as well, Ole. So I think in the last couple of games he's made like two subs between those 2 games, and then when the game is pretty much on the line with like 20 minutes to go or 15 minutes to go, however long it was. He throws on 4 substitutes at once, takes off Pogba, takes off Van der Beek, And I feel like those were two players obviously involved in the goal and would have probably made something happen along with bringing Bruno on. So I thought they were kind of brainless substitutions. I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, no, to be honest, yeah, I agree in the sense that I wouldn't have taken them off if I'm being like I'm a fan and I'm not going to be thinking about everything around sort of football relations. However, I remember even before the game, Ole was talking and I think they were talking about they weren't even sure Pogba would be have enough to even play more than 45 minutes. So I think that substitution I expected. I think some of the others were a bit. I always think when more than two players come on at the same time, it just rocks things.
Disrupts everything. Yeah,
it disrupts everything. So I agree with you in the sense that when that happened, I was just like a bit like, yeah, this game's done. Like, there's no way they're gonna come up to the speed at which we need. I think Cavani hadn't played like last couple of games. It was just weren't going to happen. I think he was almost like wishing for it to happen more than anything else. So the box falls on Ole, but as we know, football's a funny thing, and if we go win Europa and finish second, then who's talking about?
But at the same time,
then yeah, it's peak.
Yeah, Stephen, what do you guys think about Fred? Do you see him for the future?
Yeah, we got upgraded. Do you know what it is? I think I've been happy with the progress in the sense that he's gone from bad, like really bad, to okay. But I think if we need to take the step, we need a bit more quality in there. We've tried to do the McTominay and Pogba thing. I don't think there's enough legs. So I think we need to go in the market and find a Declan Rice or something. Yeah, someone who can get about and do the running.
Go by Leicester. Genuinely.
Yeah, indeed.
Indeed, he is a flipping beast.
Bro, I told you, man. Yeah. There's 3 players in Leicester's team right now. Yeah.
If we can get a DM like that, then yeah, I think that's what we need to. I think that needs to be one of our priorities. To be honest, I think probably more than even an attacker, because it's glaring at the moment.
Do you reckon that's a kind of a waste of money for buying Fred in retrospect?
Absolutely, for that price, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
But then that video that got posted shows that he was performing.
No, don't get me wrong. Fred, do you know what? No. I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to sit here and be like, Fred's dead, Fred's this, Fred's that. I like Fred. I think he's got qualities that most teams need.
Fred catfished you, man. He catfished me.
If you're not going to do it, I'll do it for both of us. I don't mind, bro, because Fred is not good enough to be United midfield.
Yeah, that's my point. He's not good enough to be in a team that's meant to be challenging for the majors. That's my point. Do I think he's good? Yeah, but he's not good enough for United.
And this is the thing, like, we're talking about how he's gone up a level, but where was that level originally? You know what I mean? It was low. So how much has he really gone up? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I think he should be a squad player, not someone.
Is he really Brazilian?
Yeah.
Let's move, man. Let's move. Mitch, let me go to you. Because this was a bit of a talking point in the group chat as well. Prior to the AC Milan game, Ole said something interesting that divided opinion. I'm just paraphrasing him here, but he said something along the lines of that doing well and winning in cup competition is not necessarily a barometer of progress. So doing well and being high up in the league table is the real show of progression for a football club. I know Taba had some strong words in regards to that and a different opinion to what Press for and to what Ole said. What did you make of that? Do you feel like doing well in cup competition does not necessarily mean there's progression, or the other way around?
I think it sort of depends on the position you're talking about. If you're 6th in the league and winning FA Cups, I wouldn't say it's a bad season. But if you're, let's say, bottom half of the league and winning cup matches, then I would say there's not been any progression, because it's, cup matches, anyone can, at the end of the day, anyone can win it.
A man with sense.
To a standard. It's like if you're talking about Carling Cups.
That's the thing I've heard you say, Mitch.
Nah, he's capping, man.
Bro, I'm actually
hold on, let him land.
I'm being honest, because I would say, with Arsenal, we're a prime example of that, to be fair. We've won FA Cups, but I don't think there's been progression. We've actually gone backwards, basically. So that's a very good example. But if let's say United, I would, although I hate to admit it, there has been progression. You haven't won any trophies, but there's been progression, and that's my opinion on that, to be fair.
So is it? Are you saying that because of where they are in the league table,
they're second in the league?
There's over progression.
Yeah, they're second in the league. You can't argue with that. They're second in the league in the quarterfinals of Europa, And
but yet their competitiveness in basically everything is not there in cups and in the league.
But if you compare them in what they were playing at 2 years ago to what they're playing now, there's progression. If you talking about general play, and obviously the Bruno's a big factor in that, but you can see progression. United are a harder team to beat, and they score more goals. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, Press.
Yeah,
you was one that kind of stood on Ole's side on that. Can you elaborate?
No, it's more like I understood what he was trying to say, like around basically what Mitch has alluded to, like the league progression in the league and your finishing position or your league position is a better indication of your club's progress rather than winning an FA Cup or winning a Carabao Cup, because I don't think that those will give you a true indication of the progression that the club has made, and I fully agree with Mitch. So from my perspective, I think we're like 12 points better off than we were last season at this point in the league, and all we can do is get the results from the games we play. I know there are people that say, "Oh, well, it's because this team has fallen off or that team has fallen off," but we still have to play the games and win them and get the points. So I don't think you can use the argument of other teams not being up to scratch when we still have a job to do. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Prez, if I ask you one thing of where I agree with you, I'm with you and Mitch. I've always said of where I'd always rather finish second in the league / compete than win FA Cup, Carling Cup, Europa, etc. But you're on track to finish second. Realistically, you'll even finish second with less points than what Mourinho did in his season. What would be the difference in your eyes? Because you would have won less. Because I think you won Europa that season, right?
This is my point.
What would be the difference?
What would be the difference finishing second without trophies?
No, to that season in terms of, let's say, even progression.
Because I do remember you guys saying that when I put the question in, because under Mourinho you finished second as well, and
won Europa.
You guys won Europa. You guys will say, yeah, but I didn't see that as progression. So why you see
sustainable football, man? It's completely different. Ask any United fan.
Do you reckon?
100%.
Well, what is the difference?
Look, I'll explain the difference.
What's your style?
Let me explain. When we were under Jose Mourinho, we used to go away to teams like Liverpool, like the bigger teams, even though the bigger teams, most teams actually, and we used to change for them. Fast forward now, you could say what you want about stats and whatnot. United play the same way in most games, regardless of who they are. Key example of that is the game, I think, even though it was the FA Cup, it was the game against Liverpool. That was probably the first game I really felt, we're not changing our way or playing to suit the opponent. And to me, that is the biggest sign of progress, isn't it? Because under Jose, I hated watching United. I hated it. Every single game that I would go into it thinking we could win, but we won't play well. Now I'm confident going into more games, and I enjoy watching us as a fan. So you can throw to me any stats you want about the Jose season, and then obviously the Ole season, but the facts remain. And if you ask 90% of United fans, I'm a lot happier now than I was 2 years ago. 100%.
And for me, under Mourinho, winning that Europa League trophy, I didn't see that as a sign of more to come. Like I think I said that in the group. I still, I don't even think we finished second that season we won Europa. I think we finished sixth.
You finished outside the top four.
Exactly. So that gives you that champs. Exactly. So we got champs through winning the Europa League, not through our league position. So
but don't forget, it was through Mourinho's gamble. Mourinho actually gambled and forgot about the league and concentrated on Europa, if you remember. Like he tapped.
Well, because that was his only option. Because there was no way we were going to get top four at that point.
Nah, there's a game that he threw. There's a few games that he threw, basically in light of you guys approaching.
Yeah, but I think that
Europa
was
League.
He made a decision about going
based on our league. Exactly. Yeah, like it's kind of simple maths in a way, because
to get to it.
Exactly, we weren't going to get top four at that point. Jose was under duress. He had a call to make.
I remember it clearly.
Cha. Just last thing, sorry. Just penny for your thoughts. Yeah, I've just compared this. I know you'll say don't care about stats, but I've just compared your 2 seasons of this season finishing second and Jose second. You had 14 shots per game under Jose. You've got 14 shots on target, on goal for Oli. You had 54% possession under Jose. You have 54% possession with Oli. So statistically, underlying stats, it's exactly the same. But to your point, it's probably like the feel-good factor more than anything tangible, because results-wise, it's exactly the same. But
It's
you
not the
just
result.
feel better.
I'm pretty sure if we went through how many goals we scored, we probably scored more goals this season we done in
But
that season.
underlying stats is exactly the same.
What,
It's
possession?
exactly the same. Possession and shots on goal.
Come on, man. That's not underlying stats, bro. That just means that we had the ball in around the same.
All right, let's move on.
Andy, take the wheel, man.
Yeah, man. Just keeping them.
Let's move on. Press, quickly. Obviously, in the Europa League, you're facing Spanish mid-table team Granada. Just one of those teams that are very annoying to play against. However, as a United fans, you must be glad with this particular draw. What are your expectations going into this quarterfinal tie?
A win. Simple as that.
Straightforward things, yeah?
Straightforward. That's my expectation. Granada, I think, are like eighth in the league.
Yeah, man.
So, we've beat Sociedad over 2 legs, who are, fifth in the league. And they got spanked over the weekend as well. So they're a bad team. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not expecting anything less than a win and a comfortable route to the next round, which is against either Roma or Ajax.
If we don't progress,
Porto, bro.
Ole out.
Yeah.
Ole out, boy. If we do not progress, I don't care.
All right, let's finish off. Let's finish off with Spurs then. Obviously, Strizza's not here, but we'll take up the mantle for him. They first lost obviously to Arsenal in a very poverty manner, and then, if that was not enough, Mislav Orsic dropped a hattie on their head tops, and Spurs are officially out of the Europa League. Even though, because of the whole Slavia Prague situation, they may be reinstated somehow, some way. They went away to Villa yesterday and booked a much-needed win. So Munya, obviously we have discussed several times before, but again, after the Dinamo pamming, a lot of talk has come up again in regards to Harry Kane leaving Spurs. But obviously, we all know that Levi will be pricing him out and taking him hostage. He's going to be 28 this summer.
Levi or Levy? Yeah.
He got you back.
I can play that game.
He got you back.
All right, cool. Levy, sorry. But yeah, what would be realistic the next step for Harry Kane if that was true? Because his contract is up in 2024 as well, so he's still got a while.
Yeah, there's still time, and I think the question is now is the Carling Cup, whatever it's called nowadays,
Caribbean.
Yeah, if they win that, is that going to be enough for Harry Kane? And to be honest with you, I don't think it is. If they were to win it, if Harry's serious right now, and I mean, I don't say this because I'm an Arsenal fan, he now kind of needs to put himself first. He has been loyal to that club, and they've been great to him, but all good things must come to an end. So if I'm Harry Kane, and yes, if I do win the Caribbean Cup, I still have to think about what's next for me. Can this team take me to the Premier League? Because obviously that's what you want to win, right? But at the position right now, yes, they could be fighting for top 4, but should they not be winning the league? Like he's going to be thinking that there's teams out there that need a forward.
And this is the worst market to move in, man. He's
looking at the Chelsea,
pissed, man. He's very
Man United
pissed.
And Man City. Obviously, there's other players in contention that could be going to those clubs. If I'm Harry Kane, I need to think after the Euros, because we've got to remember we've got the Euros as well. Because once the league finishes, his focus is going to be the Euros. What's next for me? And it's going to be hard because I think he needs to.
But there is no way. There's no. You mentioned United and City, yeah. But there is no way Mourinho and even Levy are selling to a domestic. I don't see them do that. Unless there's bread on the table.
But it has to be 130 minimum. It has to be 130 at the bare minimum.
That's for him to accept. That's for him to even consider it.
Bro,
not to get accepted.
I can see that man in PSG dropping the bag on him if he wants to go there.
If he sells them back, do you know there needs to be a chain of events.
For that to happen.
I don't see Harry moving abroad.
Yeah, same.
Listen, Kane wants to win a Premier League,
bro.
Yeah, he's chasing the record as well, I reckon.
It's either Tottenham break the bank and buy players.
I don't see Tottenham selling to a rival though.
No. But I'm saying it's either to keep him, they're gonna have to buy players this coming year to say,
And they
okay,
got no
this is what
bread
we're
as
trying
well.
to do, or they have to just let him go.
On the
If
flip
they,
side, are you go on? Sorry, go on, Bros.
yeah, just quickly, if they do let him go, and I reckon it would be a long shot. If they do let him go, then I think that's just kind of Levy conceding that, you know, we're not serious about winning any league anytime soon.
You know what? I kind of disagree.
Pride, man.
I kind of disagree. I think they can sell Kane and build around Son. That's my rebuttal to that.
And just to add to that, because Kenna was saying the fact that they've got no P's, they get a large sum amount from Kane. You know, they had the Gareth Bale one, but they didn't handle it well. They got a second chance. And like you said, Shalom, they use that money to build it around Son.
Well, who's really buying Kane?
You, man.
29-year-old.
Kane can actually be bought. You man are just sneezing. United have been sneezing for a while.
No. To be fair, no. United are biggest. Yeah, if we're not going for Kane, if he's available, we're big snoozers, 100%, because everyone knows that's what we probably need. However, I don't know. I think in the climate now, I find it hard seeing anyone.
But if you're gonna drop 80, if you're gonna drop 80 on Sancho, just drop, bro.
It's not
do
going to
some
be
negotiating with a.
Oh, you can just drop something plus Martial.
Yeah, that's what I would. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that one. They might budge though for that one. But
what are you thinking?
Let me move though.
But Marshall can move, man. Marshall can go. Let's be real.
Well, am I thinking what to shop Martial for a bit of P?
Fam, a young 60 and Martial.
And Kane, yeah.
No, not 60, 80. They'll do 80. They'll do 80 and Martial.
70, 75 and that boy.
80.
Oh, man.
Bluffing.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about this later, man.
Curious case as well, yeah, while we're there.
The we for the fee.
Oh, Cha. That's the last one on Spurs. Obviously now Spurs kind of got nothing to play for in terms of cup competition, so they can completely focus on their quest for top 4. They currently sit 4 points behind Chelsea. Trajectory-wise, history-wise, do you think this is realistic and an achievable target for Spurs? 9 games left.
They
are in the Carling Cup final as well, to be honest.
Yep. I do think. I actually think. Yeah, I do think they can end up with a respectable season. I think in terms of what you brought Jose in for, if he wins Caribbean Cup, then thumbs up. If he doesn't, then it's thumbs down. It's just very big extremes in it. But yeah, I do think they could definitely go on runs when they win a couple games in it. Yeah, so I definitely think it's possible.
So I got a question in light of what we asked earlier. So if Jose did manage to finish in top 4, would that be a sign of progression because he's finished in top 4 this season?
Whereas I think you have to take that with a pinch of salt because Spurs.
But this is the point we were making with like the United situation. Not to bring it up again, but it's just another way of looking at it.
If he finishes top 4 season.
Yeah, if he was, would you then be like, oh, that's progression?
I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that because the way Jose play football doesn't mean that that it doesn't guarantee a bit of success. It probably will. So top 4, it's probably the best, but it's not the best way to play football to win. And I think the Spurs fans would prefer better playing football plus success, and that's the issue here.
Now, if you ask Strezza, he says he just wants trophy. They just want one trophy to get them across that line, and then from there, they're expecting the rest to follow. I think they're hungry for that. But anyways, Spurs, they can still reach top 4 and they can still collect the Carabao Cup. So let's see. Let's stay tuned for that. Any shots? Let's head to the bar.
Yeah, I've got one. Just a quick one. So everyone, toast up. It's for the senior man. I just want to give him a little shout out, man. He's almost returned to form of where the.
But he's a fool, bro.
4 or 5
After
years
that miss, 2 years ago.
Bro, senior man.
Nah,
shout out him, man. He's almost Vardy slipped off the past couple of weeks, months, and he's just stepped up.
Big time, man. Big time.
Realistically, imagine Leicester managed to finish second and then win an FA Cup. Crazy, man. Now shout out him, man. Shout out.
Senior man.
Yeah, I got a shot. It's a surprise shot.
Martin Odegaard.
Yeah, I've been I've been
People are
going at
planning
him
the
for
shots
last-
before the pod. What the hell?
Yeah, I've been going at him for the last 2 weeks, but you gotta understand the heartbreak that this club has caused me. Sometimes I question everything. He's been doing well, man. Especially in the weekend, he did show his talent. When Troy Deeney said we lack cojones, we showed cojones on the weekend. Shout out to him. He had like 95 touches, pass accuracy was 93%, passes in opposition half 60, duels 1-6, key passes 4, shots 3, ball recoveries 2. He just showed he was a
bro.
baller.
He's your best player, bro.
I wouldn't say that. Calm down, bro.
He is, man.
Don't forget
like he just is.
It's because he
Bro,
was
Saka
effective.
slipped.
He was
By the
effective.
way, he actually
without scoring or assisting, he was still effective. I think that's what
I lie. Exactly. That was my point.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
it's
ran the
to see,
show,
bro.
You know what? Shout out both him and Saka because when they play together, you can see the difference.
I don't know.
Just giving me separate flowers, Joe.
Trust me. Man.
Second is his drop ball.
It's Donny. Any more?
One more quick shot. Sorry, Jake. One shot on Arsenal. Luckily, there's no fixtures coming up for another week or two, so this won't come back to bite me. I just want to say, looking at the Benfica game and the West Ham game, some may say West Ham dropped form, but I'm liking this new, I might say new Arsenal, but the new character that this team is showing, because I know this club before, against Benfica, when we went down, and against West Ham, the game would have been over. But they're showing fighting spirit, and, as I keep saying, let's aim for a respectable finish to the end of the season, and that's what I can ask for.
All right, cool. Press, have your shot.
Yeah, mine is for Mason Greenwood, man. I think myself and Char have been talking about his overall game and his performances recently, and although the goals have been lacking in comparison to last season, I feel like his general play has really improved. He's matured. His pressing up the pitch has improved. His link-up play, he's always looking busy in and around the 18-yard box, and I feel like the goals will eventually come, whether it be next season or the back end of this season. But yeah, shot for Mason Greenwood, only player who really showed any real attacking impetus anyway against Leicester. So yeah, shout out.
How many goals has he got this season?
Yeah, that doesn't really matter right now.
I think he's got like 3 less than Saka.
Let's have our last shot, Jake.
My shot is for my beautiful defensive midfielder, N'Golo. I think against Atletico, to say he was all over the park was an understatement. That boy was everywhere. That was his best performance since the Europa League final against Arsenal. He just did not let Atletico through. He was fantastic. And if he's going to play like this for the rest of the season, oh, baby.
Champions, yeah?
Right, is that you, Jake? Yeah.
Nah, I didn't say that. You did. I'm thinking N'Golo back.
I say no more, Jake, man. He's not biting again. Remember to follow us on our socials, VARBAR Podcast on Twitter and VARBARPOD on Instagram. I know I've got that wrong, but whatever, man. And as of this weekend, we have gone live on YouTube. So obviously, episode 55 is there now. This episode will be on YouTube as well. Please subscribe to our channel, VARBAR Podcast. Give us a like and comment as well. We will be uploading all of our episodes from episode 55 onwards as well. My apologies, damn. If you are listening on Apple Podcasts, don't forget to rate us a 5-star and to comment. My name is Rapping Drew. We are the VBP boys, and we out.
Peace.
Later.
Hey, Kyle.
Like they're going to VAR. They're checking.